Big thanks to Kamada Joe for sponsoring this episode.
What is the best way to cook turkey for Thanksgiving? Let's find out. It is time again, and I'm talking about turkey time. In this season, we want to celebrate. We want to get together with our friends and our family. And one of the things that always stand out are the turkeys. But it's a sensitive topic because somebody in your family always makes that fantastic turkey. But the question is, how? So I selected 3 of the best turkeys that I could find. These are Kelly Bronze turkeys, and if you want to buy them, link is down below. The special thing about these turkeys is that they are an ancient breed with beautiful black feathers. They have been raised without antibiotics, without all of that crazy stuff. And they've been given the time to grow and develop into tasty animals. And then when it was time to butcher them, they were dry slaughtered, which means they didn't put them in a pot of boiling water. No, they were all hand plucked. And you can see the proof of that with these little black feather pins. Now I know that doesn't sound special yet, but the good thing is that because they use this method, they're able to dry age these turkeys. These are dry aged for 14 days, which means they are more tasty and more tender than any other turkey. I'm going to show you exactly how to cook these birds, and we're going to find out together which one is the best for you. First up is the roasted turkey. And the first step is to make a brine. Take a pan, heat up 100 milliliters of water, add 50 grams of salt, 25 grams of sugar, 4 juniper berries, 2 bay leaves, 10 peppercorns, 3 cloves, and let that come up to a boil. Then add 900 milliliters of cold water and your brine is done. Now all the crystals have been dissolved, the brine is at room temperature, and when you taste it, it should taste light salty. And to get that brine into this turkey, I'm going to use a syringe. Now I want to stick this needle into this bird. However, I do not want to puncture the skin too much, so I'm going to go in at the back, slide it into the breast meat, and start pushing in that brine slowly but surely. Now, this bird is around 3 kilograms and it's going to hold around 300 milliliters of brine. Next up is the leg. Don't forget about those wings. And the reason that I'm using an injection instead of dumping the whole bird into a brine is that the skin is nice and dry. And that nice and dry skin would have been wasted if we put it in a bucket with water. At this point, some people start thinking about stuffing a bird like this. Let me tell you that this is one of the worst ideas you can have for Thanksgiving. This is a big animal in itself. It has a lot of meat on it, it's heavy, it's around 3 kilograms. Now, if I would add a stuffing to this bird, I'm going to make it more heavier. And to get the core of the bird to be fully cooked, we're going to need to heat it up even more, which means on the outside, all this meat is going to be exposed to heat longer than it needs to be, aka drying out. That's why no stuffing. Now, of course, I want to have my bird look as good as it can, so we're going to truss it. I'm going to take the wings and I'm going to fold them over, and the tip of the wing is going to go behind the bird. Tuck it in real good. And then I'm going to close the legs by tying them up. Take your twine, get the legs together, then take one piece of the rope, go underneath the other, and basically cross the pieces of tie. To tie it up, cut it off, and your bird looks 10 times better. Now I want to get flavor on the outside of this turkey, so I'm going to add seasoning. But with a dry skin like this, I'm going to need an adhesive, so I'm going to use olive oil. If you have a wet turkey and still a lot of moisture, don't use the olive oil, just use the seasoning. Hey! And with the hot air that we're going to apply to this beautiful bird, the olive oil is going to fry the outside of the skin, making it extra crispy. I'm putting on my Pitmaster X Classic Barbecue Rub. It is an excellent rub to add flavor, to make it crispy, to make it tasty, put some texture and some color on. And if you're looking for that recipe, it's on pitmasterx.com. Link is down below. Look at that bird transforming from a regular bird to a beautiful bird with lots of color. Now don't forget about the inside of the turkey. That's gonna need some seasoning as well. My turkey is ready, so I'm gonna fire up the Kamada Joe, and I'm using the smaller version because that's the benefit of this technique. If you got a smaller oven, if you got a smaller barbecue, that compact roast is still going to fit. So let's load and light it up. Add a chunk of smoke wood, put in heat deflectors, put in the grill grates at the lowest position, tray in, turkey on, thermometer inside turkey breast, and now I got my perfect setup. I got my turkey with the thermometer, which is extremely important because this is going to be your success factor. If you keep an eye on that temperature of that turkey and cook it to the temperature, not time, temperature, and you stick to a core temperature of 72 degrees Celsius, you're going to have a perfect juicy turkey. And underneath I have my tray with an extra rack, which means I'm going to have free airflow of the smoke going around that turkey, making it extra tasty, and at the same time catching the drippings and fat that's rendering out of the turkey. And now you can see why I put the grill grate at the lowest position. The turkey is down low in the grill, and we can close the lid, and we have all that space of that hot air to flow around freely and make that turkey extra tasty. Of course, I need to set up the vents. Top vent to 2 fingers open, bottom vent to 1 finger open. And once I hit a smoking temperature of 120 degrees Celsius, I'm going to slowly close the top vent until it stays stable at the temperature of 120 degrees Celsius. The temperatures on the Kamado Joe are rising up a little further than I want to, so I'm going to close the bottom vent to almost all the way closed, and I'm going to leave that bottom vent open to 1 stripe so that the hot air can exhaust and the temperature in the barbecue can drop down a little bit. Now, to make sure, I want to check on my turkey to see what it looks like. After all, we've been smoking, and whoa, that is one good looking bird. The higher temperatures, as you can see, crunched up and firmed up that skin on the outside. We got that smoke color on the bird. The thermometer says 1 hour and 6 minutes to go, and we've been in for 1 hour and 12 minutes. So that's a total time of 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So let's see what that will be in the end. And don't worry, the bird's not gonna get any darker because there's no more smoke in the barbecue. Let's close the lid and let it continue to cook. After 2.5 hours, I got the notification from my thermometer that the bird is done. Let's take a look. That is one good looking bird. We got a nice crispy dried up skin. Looks absolutely fantastic. We see some of those juices in the back, and I get an instant whiff of that nice smoky flavor. Let's get this out. The meat curled up on the bones. We got a good barbecue fragrance. This is looking good. And look right there in the tray. That is a perfect au jus for our turkey. Of course, there's also loads of juices on the inside of this turkey. Put some aluminum foil on and let it rest. And after 10 minutes, the magical moment is here. First thing to do is look for the proof. Carve into the breast and take a slice out of it. Wow. We can see a light smoke ring on the outside of this turkey with juicy meat on the inside. Look at that. Look at how crazy juicy that is. And that's the most important feature of your turkey. You need it to be juicy first, then you want a crispy skin. This one has it all. Time for the second turkey, the spatchcock turkey. I'm going to take this beautiful bird and flatten it out. First thing to do is put it on its belly to expose the spine. Take a sharp and big knife, make an outline of that spine. I'm going to take the whole spine out of that turkey. Now I'm going to use all of my weight to press down, cutting through the bones. If you don't have a heavy knife like that, or you think it's too dangerous, use a poultry scissor. And of course, if you're looking for one of these, we put the link down below in the video description. Now this should not be thrown out. This is a lot of flavor and can be used to be roasted and put into the base of your gravy. Now we gotta open it up and flatten it out, but there are 2 bones sitting right there which are holding the birds together. I'm gonna take a knife again and just try and cut these up. There we go. Flip the bird around, spread it out, apply a little bit of pressure, and there we go. Now we have a beautiful flat bird. And you can see it's almost completely flat. This is going to allow you to cook the bird in a faster time because it's flat and everything is going to cook in the same speed. Let's inject this bird with some of our brine. I'm using the same brine as I did before, filling it up. And again, drizzle on a little bit of olive oil, sprinkle on that Pitmaster X classic barbecue rub, and do the other side as well. When you're going to be cooking your spatchcock turkey, you want to set your barbecue up in a different way. You want to maximize on the opportunity that's going to cook evenly and therefore cook faster. So I'm going to set up this Kamado Joe for direct grilling. Charcoal in, fire it up, spread out the charcoal, put the grill grates in. And with this direct grilling setup, we're going to have some special effects on our turkey. Because we're going to have a slow, smoldering fire, and that turkey is going to sit above it, and all of that smoke that twirls up is going to give a little bit of flavor to that turkey. The fat's going to render down, it's going to drip into the fire, and we're going to have like an asado style of flavor onto our turkey. And let it slowly come up to temperature together with that charcoal. So I'm going to close the lid. I'm going to close the top fan to 1 stripe open and the bottom fan to 2 fingers open. And now that it's dialed in, I'm going to put in a thermometer to keep my eye on the temperature of that breast. I want to get it in the center of the thickest part, and that's going to allow me to cook that turkey to perfection. The turkey's been on for an hour now, and the core temperature of the turkey are about halfway through the cook. Now, I want to take a look and make sure that it doesn't burn the bottom of the turkey. Let's take, wow, look at that. That is one beautiful looking bird. We got a nice bit of char, we got that juiciness. It is time to flip it around and cook the other side. And I just got the notification that it's done. Wow, look at that color. Beautiful roasted spatchcock turkey. I'm gonna take this off the barbecue, but before I do, I'm gonna make sure I catch those drippings. Look at that. That is the good stuff. I'm gonna put this on the board and let it rest. And then it's time for that moment, that magical moment where we can find out if this is the perfect turkey. I'm gonna flip this around so we can access the breast. I'm gonna make that incision, make that side cut. Whoa. And once again, a juicy turkey. Crispy skin on the outside, juicy meat on the inside. Even though it appears a little less juicy than the full roast turkey, the skin is better in the sense that it's rendered down the fat that's underneath the skin better. The skin turned more crispy and a little thinner in your biting experience. On the other hand, the meat is a little drier and appears to be a little tougher, but still a fantastic way to cook turkey. And now the last turkey, the rotisserie turkey. It is something that's always exciting. And the reason why is because it's a big show. You put that turkey on the rotisserie, it's a giant thing, turning around, turning crisp and absolutely juicy. First, let's inject the bird just like we did with the other ones with our brine, in the legs, in the wings. Again, drizzle on olive oil is going to fry it and protect it at the same time while it's roasting. Pitmaster X classic barbecue rub. And don't forget to season the inside of that turkey. Now I gotta get my barbecue ready to roast it on the rotisserie. Of course I got my joetisserie ring in, load it up with charcoal, light it up, and once it's lit up, I'm going to divide the charcoal to 2 sides. I'm gonna skewer on that turkey, secure the legs and the wings with the pins, and place it on the Kamado Joe. And there we go, turkey on the way. Now you can see I have some light spots right there. I'm gonna touch that up, making sure I get an even layer of rub on this bird. That's gonna be one pretty thing. Open up the top vent almost to 2 stripes, and I'm going to let the temperature in the barbecue come up to around 140 to 160 degrees Celsius, which is roasting temperatures. And from there, I'm going to let it slowly come up to temperature, take it easy, and then rise it up if need be. And after 1 hour and 45 minutes, our last turkey is done. The rotisserie turkey. Oh my, this looks so freaking delicious. All that juiciness on the outside of the skin and how it crispened up. Whoa, I just want to eat that. That's how good this looks. And just like with the others, I'm gonna let this turkey rest for around 10 minutes. And then your patience will be rewarded. Let's slice up the breast, take a look inside. Look at that. That is one juicy turkey. This is definitely the most juicy turkey of all of them. It's like by rotating that turkey around, it's like all of the juices stick inside that turkey. It is so crazy juicy. It's not as tender as the first one, the roast. And it doesn't have the amazing skin of the second one, the spatchcock turkey, but this thing is juicy on a whole nother level. Personally, I'm going to tell you, you can't fail with any of these techniques. If you do it the way I told you to do it, you're going to have the perfect turkey for your dinner. However, I love the rotisserie so much. It's just absolutely fantastic. And one more trick, don't forget about that little piece on the end right there. Let me slice into that, take a look inside. This is my favorite piece, the little tail part. It's freaking amazing. Wow. Which one's best?
Rotisserie. Definitely.
What?
Yeah, I'm going